This video is to show you how to simplify radical expressions. So remember, radical is just the square root symbol. So let's start with the square root of 32. The first thing we have to do is list out all the factors. So everything that multiplies together to give you 32. So I already have them listed out. We have 1 times 32, 2 times 16, and 4 times 8. So whenever we're deciding which pair to use, we have to pick the one that has a perfect square in it. So we have 2, 4 is a perfect square, and 16 is a perfect square. So whenever we have more than one choice, we always want to choose the biggest perfect square. So 16 is bigger than 4. So we're going to rewrite this radical. The square root of 32, we're going to write the square root of 16 times 2. So now we break it apart. So this becomes the square root of 16 times the square root of 2. So from here we simplify. The square root of 16 is 4. We can't simplify the square root of 2, so we just write the square root of 2. And that becomes our answer, 4 square root 2. All right, the square root of 20. So again, I have all the factors listed out on the side. 1 times 20, 2 times 10, and 4 times 5. So the only one of these that has a perfect square is 4 times 5. So we're going to rewrite the square root of 20 as the square root of 4 times 5. And then we break it apart. Square root of 4 times the square root of 5. Remember, we can break it apart because we are multiplying and they're both under the radical. So we can break it apart and it is still equivalent. So now we simplify. The square root of 4 is 2. And then we can't simplify the square root of 5, so we just write the square root of 5. So the square root of 20 is equivalent to 2 square root 5, and that's our answer. All right, last one, the square root of 54. So I listed all my factors out already. 1 times 54, 2 times 27, 3 times 18, and 6 times 9. So my only perfect square in here is 9. So we're going to rewrite this as the square root of 6 times 9. We break it apart. So the square root of 6 times the square root of 9. I can't simplify the square root of 6, so I'm just going to rewrite him out. He has to stay under the radical. And then the square root of 9 is 3. So remember, once you take the square root of something, the radical goes away. So it's just 3. But I always want to write my coefficient in front, so I'm going to rewrite this as 3 square root 6. And that's my final answer.